Hello guys and welcome back to this channel. I am your host Edika Nobut and this is Isaac News. As you all know on Isaac News, our job here is to bring you up to speed with amazing things happening in our dear country Nigeria. So today on Isaac News, we're going to be looking at just an update on the modular refineries and some refineries in the country. So a lot of what the president spoke of when he was running for office in 2015 is that he was going to revamp the refineries in Nigeria and he was going to upgrade the modular refineries in Nigeria. And he has done so. A lot of the refineries that exist in the country right now were built by him when he was the head of state, and he was also doubling as the Minister of Petroleum. And he has come back again to rule this country. And it's still the same President Muhammadu Buhari that has gone ahead to revamp a lot of refineries in Nigeria, and also to give license to not just Dangote. We have Dangote who has finished the refinery and will soon commission it. We have the BOA group who have started constructing the refinery in my state, Akwa Ibom state. Okay, we have modular refineries being built in Akwa Ibom state. Today, when I came back from church, today is the 26th of February, Sunday, where I am. When I was in church after the meeting, I walked up to a gentleman and asked him, where he's currently working at. So he told me he had been transferred to a new site somewhere in Eastern Obolo. He told me that place is a modular refinery that was built in about 2018, 2019. That as he was talking to me right now, he has started drilling oil officially in my state. It's my neighboring. After my local government, then you have Eastern Obolo. Okay, we share the same boundary. Because often on the channel, I've spoken about a village in my local government. In fact, my main village, not where I stay, in Ete, a place called Okobudi, that a modular refinery is being built there, and a petrochemical plant is also being built in my local government. So I just got to hear this morning after church that in Eastern Obolo, a nearby local government, a refinery has already been built and oil is already being drilled. Amazing, super amazing. I'm having plans to go visit the place and take a few shots. And I think I will do us a favor. I think when I go there, I will carry my phone, carry my gadget, and make a video about the place because I heard it's so beautiful. But please, let's leave me alone and focus on Nigeria. So we have a lot of modular refineries around the country that have been set up. So you may want to ask, what is a modular refinery? You this boy. Yes. So modular refineries are small refineries that have a small production capacity. So you have maybe production capacities maybe between I don't know, 10,000 to about 200,000 barrels per day. Okay, those are modular refineries. They don't produce so much. So you have a new modular refinery of 10,000, a new modular refinery of 10,000 barrels per day capacity in Edo State, funded by the federal government.
The Petroleum Energy Park is a product of the Petroleum Midstream Company Limited, a midstream oil and gas company that benefited from both the federal government and state government's great policies. And that's why we've come to build this integrated energy park in Edo State. The activities on this site include refining operations, we refine condensate and crude, a partnership with Summit Oil, into naphtha, AGO, DPK and HFO. We also, in partnership again with Summit, are able to then take the gas that have been fled and then dehydrate it, clean it, and compress it into natural gas for power, for home, and sell to everybody in Nigeria so that at least national wealth becomes our commonwealth. We also here have a power plant, as you can see, as you saw, we power ourselves here, taking the load of the grid. And the power also can also be exported, like we're applying to do with the state government as well to support some of the governor's programs. And we have a Tier 4 data center here, first of its type, Modular, as well. So we have started our test production. We've introduced it. This is a major achievement for us. And these are only happened because of the support of the government, the state government, our investors, Nigerian Content Development Board. I remember when we came to see the governor, we told them about the project, and also our bankers and investors. The engineers, as you can all see, are all local, and almost all our suppliers are also local. We are very passionate about local content and community support.
So if you don't know us for the first time, this is Isaac News, and I'm your host, Edika Nobut, and we talk good news on this channel. Let's continue. So next, we have our Port Harcourt refinery that has been revamped by this president in this administration. It has a production capacity of about 60,000 barrels per day. So it's a modular refinery because it has a small production capacity. Then we talk about refineries. This one is just one refinery. We have other refineries even within Rivers State. We have modular refineries in Bayelsa. We have modular refineries in my state, in Akwa Ibom. The idea by the federal government is to set up modular refineries in all oil-producing states. Then at every region, we have the Dangote refinery, which is the big refinery in the southwest. We have the BOA refinery in Akwa Ibom, which is going to supply, the south. We have a massive refinery in the north being built in Kaduna State. So that would supply, the north. So we even have refinery, a Watersmith modular refinery in Imo State that has a refining capacity to produce about 270 million liters of petrol annually. Massive. Now, when we talk like this, understand that it is the job of the federal government to undertake project of this magnitude, which they have done excellently. The federal government have been near perfect in the execution in the last 8 years, irrespective of emotions and feelings. All you have to do is keep your emotions aside and do some fact check. Do some fact check and say that the government has been working near perfect. The federal government, federal government. All right. So we have refineries scattered, being built and scattered, littered all around the country. Now it would take it. The Dangote refinery took about 5 to 6 years to build, but the noise has been made for a long time now. Look at it, has been completed in 2023. So capital intensive project, when you borrow billions, Dangote borrowed billions. When you borrow money like that, you may not see it till after 10 years. But these things ought to be done. Okay? As we speak right now, Nigeria consumes over 70 million liters of petrol a day. 70 million liters of petrol a day is that's our daily consumption, and it is so much strain on the economy to be importing that amount of petrol into the country. Thank God all this is about to stop. By this year, our import should have reduced significantly, and by next year, our import should have stopped. With all the work that has been invested in the petroleum industry, it would stop by next year. If it doesn't stop by this ending, it's going to stop by next year. Because our current need, Nigeria needs about 300,000 barrels per day. All we need is, if we can refine 300,000 barrels per day worth of crude oil, we can meet our daily petroleum product requirement. That's all we need, 300,000 barrels per day. Dangote alone can supply us and export. There are big refineries in Port Harcourt of over 210,000 barrels per day. That's a lot of petrol once refining starts. We have modular refineries scattered across all producing states in the country. That's enough to supply those states with petroleum products. In a very short time, we will not just be exporting crude oil, we'll be exporting refined products, and that is valuable. A nation really needs to stop exporting raw materials. You don't do that. You refine it. If you must export raw material, it must be on the premise that you are not importing the finished product of that raw material. So Nigeria will export crude oil, but will no longer import petroleum products. We would keep exporting crude oil even at an increased amount, combined with the fact that we are even now refining the crude oil. So it would even be hard for us to keep up with our OPEC quota, because if we're generating right now, we're generating about 1.6 million barrels per day. That's how much we're exporting daily. That's how much we're producing daily. 1.6 million barrels. When we start refining our oil ourselves, it's going to affect the amount we're exporting, but then we'll make more money. Why? Because it's going to reduce the amount of money we're spending to import petroleum products. But once all our modular refineries come upstream, we are still going to end up in a few years time to still meet our OPEC requirement, because now we're going to refine about 300,000 barrels per day of oil. So that will reduce our production. If we are running on what we have right now, 1.6 million barrels, take out 300,000, going to remain 1.3 million barrels. Add all the modular refineries operating at optimum capacity, we are still going to meet our OPEC requirement of 1.8 in a few years time. So we are going to be making all the money we can make from exporting crude oil, saving all the money we can save from no longer importing any single petroleum product, saving all the money we can save from no longer importing, byproducts of crude oil refining, things like petrochemicals and coal tar and other byproduct of crude oil refining. We are going to make more money from the gas plants that will be built to not just provide cooking gas, but also to provide gas for powering turbines and heavy duty equipment. We are about to see a boom in our oil and gas sector. Thank God that NNPC has been privatized, but not given into the hands of private individuals. I don't know how to explain these things. A lot has happened. Okay, a lot has happened. All you need to do is keep your ears on the ground. If you're in an oil producing state, make findings wherever you are, as touching the refineries being built or already being built. Because if a modern refinery existed in my nearby local government for About 2 years now, they've been operating, and I had no idea. It tells you how hard it is for good news to fly. It's our job to promote it. So please make your findings, okay? But this is just a short video, just to just to whet your appetite as to the benefits of what is going on right now. Okay, we're in the building stage. You may not see the benefit right now. You may not, but we are building right now, and all hands need to be on deck. We need to give the government maximum support so they can do what they ought to do in the time they have agreed to do it. So this is the end of today's video. I hope it has been very informative for you. Make your findings. Go online. Go and like EFCC page. Go and like NNPC's page. Go and like NDLE page on Facebook, on Twitter. Go and follow TCN. Go and follow CBN. Follow all these top government offices and read the news they publish on a regular basis. This is how to stay on track. Read their official publication, critique it, comment, read the comments, on the post that has been made. Watch videos on YouTube, not just my channel. Watch it. Inform yourself as certain things happen in the country. It will give you a better perspective on how to invest, on things to do. We're done. Thank you very much for sticking with us. I still remain Edi Kanobut. This is Isaac News, and until we see you again, Godspeed.